Let me start with a question that every trucking company owner, dispatcher, safety manager, and every insurance agent working with trucking should be asking right now. Are you actually compliant? Are you simply assuming that you are compliant? Because in trucking, one of the most dangerous phrases you can use is, I thought it was done. I thought everything is correct. I thought that insurance company filed my MCS 90. I thought that Motus is gonna register me automatically. And lots and lots of I thought, I did not know, or I was not aware of this. Well, I thought that all the drivers have documents ready in the folder. I thought that my accountant knows how to do IFTA correctly. I thought that my authority is still active, and I guess what? As of today, it's not active because Motus failed to update your insurance filing. And every day I receive so many calls, so many text messages from clients, from previous students, from partners, from people who simply follow me on YouTube. And coming back, it's always about safety. But the biggest problem is they are calling after something already happened, when they already received the audit letter, not before. And here that's what we need to change. We need to learn how to run safety and compliance from beginning. And if you're already in the business, it's time to invest in the knowledge so you can stay compliant. I want to show you how system can be created. And remember, by taking just class, this is not enough. I'm going to give you knowledge, I'm going to give you forms, I'm going to give you structure, I'm going to build the system for you. But the biggest mistake people do, they finish the class and they forget to simply implement the knowledge, the forms, the procedures, the process. So they know it, but they do not implement. And safety without implementation is just on your shelf or in your TMS. It's not actually the safety that's going to keep you growing. It's not safety that's going to prevent you from all those fines. It's not the safety which is going to save you from that conditional rating. So let's go. Safety is not just about hiring the driver, right? Because most of you by now know the driver qualification files, right? Hopefully you start with simply application first, because driver needs to give you permission and willingness to even apply for job as a company driver, as an owner operator. You already know that you need to check on MBR. You need to make sure you check him in a clearinghouse. Only after that, you can send him for drug test, and hopefully it's going to be negative drug test. And then you're going to go through other steps, right? Employment verification, you're going to do the road test, you're going to educate him on hours of service. And I don't care if he's been a driver for 5-10 years. You're going to educate him on a cargo securement. You're going to educate him on accident reporting. You're also going to educate him on lots and lots of things that you should do as a company. One more time, I do not care if he's been working for 5 other companies. He's coming to you. This is your job to make sure that now you're implementing that system. And please stop faking those DataQs and all other paperwork. Make sure this is your driver who read, who agreed, and don't forget to send him a copy of every policy he signs, of every agreement you have between your company and a driver. So driver qualifications are okay in most companies nowadays. Well, let's go to maintenance for your equipment, correct? And we are starting simply with registration for the truck, registration for the trailer, annual inspection, right? We are keeping them for 14 months, original ones. And remember, again, Stop faking those annual inspections. You know how many times I see the inspection for the trailer and suddenly trailer has a windshield because the driver simply buys a form on a truck stop or on Amazon, a company gives him the form and he is copying from the previous form. He's just changing the report number. But remember, this is illegal. This is a fake annual inspection. And nowadays, if you are owner who really wants to stay in trucking, you should never let it happen. Why? Because that inspection can show you that maybe that owner operator has to go and change that five tires, illegal tires, right? The brakes, or maybe there's lights are not working. So preventing your violation, that's what safety is about. Well, we have, of course, insurance filing. We have authority status, we have roadside assistance, and we have roadside inspections, which affect your CSA score, right? So we need to make sure we have the receipts for fuel, right? Because we need them for IFTA, for IRP. We need the toll receipts. We need the copies of BOLs. We need to make sure we have trip reports and hours of service reports. Some of you people who faking, remember, if you faking, then don't forget to go log into your fuel receipts and fake them as well. Then go log into your tolls and also move them around. Guys, it's not just about arranging your ELD for today. It's about keeping the records for IFTA for 4.5 years and for IRP for 6.5 years. So faking is good, but not for the long run. Because today, you might not have problem with that ELD, but 2 years later, you might have IFTA audit and you're gonna pay that fine. So remember not to fake and start learning how to run trucking correctly. Well, we also need to make sure that you get comfortable with all resources. And I've been telling everybody, don't be afraid of FMCSA website. They have so many good articles. They have all the forms. Make sure you go and you explore, write it down. What is a motor carrier planner? You can actually make one for your company for free. All the forms that you are buying from third parties, that you are borrowing from your friends, they are free on FMCSA. Just go and search. Go to FMCSA, put motor carrier planner, the forms, and you're gonna have them. You can download, you can use them. Also, it's gonna direct you to all the websites, original websites, real websites, not the fake third-party websites. Do not go and pay a renewal for UCR when you can do it for free. Do not go and pay for $22.90 when you can go do it for free. Do not go and pay me or somebody else to open Kentucky account, or Oregon account, or New Mexico account. Come and learn this, or simply go and look how it's done. Information is there. It's up to you. Of course, I understand some of you are driving the truck, and for you it's cheaper to pay than to spend time and try to figure out. But even if you pay somebody, you need to make sure that the person does it correct. Let's go back to dispatchers. Why dispatchers should understand safety and compliance? Well, because the pro dispatcher actually is going to affect safety of the carrier simply by not booking legal runs, simply pushing the driver where he needs to rest, or taking loads to the area which are dangerous, right? Making sure that you do not look just on the Google Maps. You need to know the routes which you never gonna take, because those are not for the trucks. So you as a dispatcher, you also need to understand the permits. You need to know operational cost. You need to help your small carrier to survive, even to prepare them for the new entrant audit. Because most of you are brand new dispatchers who are dispatching brand new carriers. And a lot of times they are under impression, oh, because it's my company and I am driver of this company, I don't have to have driver qualification files. I don't have to have maintenance files. It is just my company. I just run for myself. And this is simply not the truth. As a pro dispatcher, knowing IFTA safety and compliance nowadays is a must. That's how you have ability to find those carriers. And a lot of times, for the last 6-9 months, from my experience, my students after the training, they get their carriers through IFTA first. That's why, remember, this Monday, upcoming Monday, we have IFTA. It's only one day, 4 hours. We are doing it afternoons because a lot of you are still working, dispatching, driving. So it's going to be from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central Time. I'm going to show you how to file your jurisdictional IFTA, how to file Kentucky, how to file New York if you are quarterly filer, not annual, how to file Connecticut, how to file Oregon miles, how to file New Mexico miles. What do you have to keep as a proof for audits? We're gonna work on it. I'm gonna show you some forms. I am gonna show you what to do and not to do when you file IFTA. So a lot of things out there are gonna be very surprising for you because most of you just think, I need to put gallons together, miles, go, click, 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 and done. But this is the smallest part of filing IFTA. The biggest part is that number have to make sense. Those reports should have supporting documents as a proof. So no, it's not just by clicking numbers and paying the fees. And lots of you, when you see that feed, you're like, oh, it's too high. Let me go and fake it. And instead of putting miles, let's say, to Ohio, you putting them to Pennsylvania. Instead of putting those gallons to Oklahoma, you putting them to California or Indiana or Illinois. Why? Because you want to put that number down. Well, it's going to work for this quarter. But remember, if the audits are real, what are you going to do? Year later, 2 years later, maybe even 4 years later? Are you sure you can produce the receipts for your fuel in those states? Are you sure they're going to be legal receipts? Please, it's not worth it. Just pay whatever you own. And if they have to pay you, well, you're going to receive your money back. We also need to make sure that drivers are being educated as well. A lot of times their attitude when they get stops, well, needs to improve because officer has all the rights to ask the questions. And it simply starts with truck folder. You as a dispatcher, you as the owner of the company, you as a driver, you as a safety manager, make sure you guys go and look through the folders of the truck. They have to be first clean. They have to be organized. And remember, you might give that folder to your driver 3 months ago, 6 months ago. Maybe he was stopped once or twice. He took something, maybe annual inspection, maybe registration for the trailer, and then he misplaced it. Now he's going to get stopped and he cannot find that proof. And now you have violation. Some things can be prevented. You don't have to wait for violation. Simple. Fire extinguisher is not in a correct spot. You don't have a paper logbook with you. Maybe your mounted for ELD is too high. By simply doing FaceTime with your driver once a week, walking around the equipment, going inside of the cabin, looking at that folder can save you thousands of dollars. So people are asking, how do we do our safety and compliance trainings? Well, first, remember, all my trainings are not pre-recorded, they are live. So each class is 4 hours long. So we have classes for safety on Sunday, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Central Time. You have the whole week to go over the materials, to do quizzes, to do assignments. Then we meet again on Sunday and we continue. And of course, we're starting first with what company has to do, even how to open trucking company, right? Then ongoing process. What do you have to do for the company quarterly? What do you have to be annually? What you have to keep in the office in your TMS. Then, of course, we're starting on preparation for new entrant audit if you are a new carrier. Also, we're going to be working on all the folders. And we're starting with simply regulations by FMCSA, right? Driver qualification, hours of service, maintenance files, cargo securement, everything that needs to be in your system. We not only concentrated on mandatory steps, I'm also providing you extra forms, extra policies that will help you to maintain your safety. Implementation is important. So I'm going to share you what I do, how I do it. I'm also going to recommend you companies who can assist you with this. But after each class, you can ask the questions. We can see where you at, what we can fix if you already have the company, if you are working in the company, if you are planning to open the company. So every class has a practical session. And what do I mean by that? Well, you will be writing corrective action plan. You will be building that company policy. You will be writing those termination letters and warning letters. And we're going to discuss how we can fix all of this, because my class is not just a theory. As a safety manager, as a dispatcher, you really need to do how to run this for your company. So we're going to be working on scheduling stuff, right? We need to make sure that you know the procedures. You need to know the updates, what's coming up, what is in the process of FMCSA. We're going to talk about road inspections, right? All those bleeds that we have quarterly, everything what's happening in a trucking. And of course, how to survive. So what else we're going to be doing? In safety and compliance, we're going to be concentrating on fixing your safety, because a lot of you come to my classes after your safety is already kind of higher than it should be. So besides DataQs, we're going to be retraining your drivers. We're really going to concentrate on that culture that you building in your company. Culture between dispatcher, driver, if it's company driver or owner operator, between your accountant, between your safety manager and the owner, because everybody has to be on the same page. Safety begins not with just documents. Safety doesn't just begin with, oh, I know this, I know this. Safety begins with understanding the important tasks that you have to do no matter what. Safety is going to depend on timely procedures. You cannot be late with some things, right? And safety is actually going to depend on the truthful documentation. Not fake documents, not fake signatures, not moving things around, but learning if you have a problem, well, how do we fix it? And don't ever go to that point again. Also going to pay attention how the drivers report to the company. We're going to make sure that they are not scared of telling you that they have been stopped. They don't have to be scared to tell you that, well, my truck needs 3 tires. And they don't have to be scared that, well, you're gonna fire them. All of this comes from educating drivers, setting the standards from the beginning, not after something happens. And of course, being honest while you're running this business. Safety, probably not that exciting as a dispatch, but it's get rewarding because we can see the progress. for students who start safety in the beginning, and in the end, they're like, oh my God, now it helps me to dispatch my trucks. I did not even know the complexity of regulations for the trucking. So go through self-audits. And what do I mean by self-audits? Well, I have special forms that you're gonna be using, and you can see, is your company in good standing? So you're gonna do mini kind of mock audits for all different areas, and that's gonna be part of homework. For students who don't have a company, they're gonna have a signed company from me, and they're also gonna practice as well. We're gonna make sure that you learn, and we're gonna make sure that you implement. What else can I tell you? So my last recommendation, do not wait until your 30 is affected. Do not wait until your insurance filings are not appearing in Motus. Make sure that you learn. Make sure that you be proactive. Do not wait until IFTA deadlines. Do not wait until audit notice arrives. Learn before mistakes become too expensive. So one more time, safety and compliance starting Sunday, July 26th. If you use our promo July 2026, you're gonna receive $100 off. Build your trucking company with systems, knowledge, and confidence, not assumptions. I'll see you in my